It's back. I got my Mini 2 by DJI back in the mail, and I'm gonna go out and test it and see how it works, because some of you know that it fell out of the sky. Whoa! Now, a lot of you thought it had to do with snow and ice whenever it fell out of the sky, because I landed on the snow and I sent the log into DJI, and that wasn't it. I am making a video which hopefully will be done by the time you see this, but if not, make sure you've subscribed to the channel and click the little bell icon, because that video about flying in the snow is one you don't want to miss. If you're in a situation where the ground's wet, now I'm going to do a quick resync with the Mini to my controller, because I did not send the controller or the battery. Then we'll be ready to go, except before I do that, I've got a few chores I got to take care of living here in the snow. I swear if I owned this house, I would put heater coils up there. I feel like I'm quickly becoming like the extreme weather test guy, because, well, where I live, it's windy, snowy, crazy temperatures, all kinds of fun stuff that I can do to test these products. I wasn't expecting it to be this crazy windy today when I just got my new Mini 2 back and I get to do my test flights and see how it works, but it's a beast, so let's see what it can do. Because it is so windy, I am going to put this wind foam slayer over my GoPro 9 so that the audio will hopefully be better. If you're looking to get these, this is the best improvement you can do for your GoPros. Doesn't matter which GoPro you have or any action camera you have, these little wind slayers make a world of a difference. Make sure you stay tuned through this whole video, because I want to go over what DJI said was the actual cause of what happened and why it fell out of the snow. And that's all you gotta do to hand launch it. It's so easy, just a little movement and it takes off. It is interesting because I'm getting these warnings with it right now about altitude, where I used to get a warning, just a little one like you can see on the top left of the screen, high altitude. It used to actually say the wrong altitude, 9,842 feet, which is completely wrong. We're at 9,000, maybe 100 feet tops right here. It is struggling with the wind. That's something the Mini 2 does, but it does so well. Look at the flag over here. This is my first flight. I am gonna have to change all the yaw settings and everything else soon. Little beast of a drone. I really am always so surprised at how well it does. Thing is fighting those gusts. So far so good. Everything seems to be working. So many people think landing in snow and out of snow is the problem, when it really isn't. It cannot read the correct elevation at all. I've been flying in this spot over and over, and it just keeps getting the elevation wrong by hundreds of feet. But as you can see, taking off and landing in the snow is not the issue. This thing seems to be working flawlessly right now, fighting these wind gusts, doing a great job. I'm pretty stoked at the moment. DJI seems to have come through with flying colors this time with their customer support. If you guys have been around my channel for any amount of time, then you know how many issues I've had with DJI customer support in the past.
I'm informing you that we are having system enhancement as we speak.
It was just constantly moving in flight, no matter what you adjusted it to. I don't want to have to send this in, but I need to send this in because I need one that works. It's all used crap. My controller is going ape shit.
Apologies, sir, that you're having some problem with the battery for the Mavic Air. But don't worry, let me try my very best here to at least help you at this one, okay?
Fuck you, DJI. If somehow my headache ends up helping somebody else to have a better customer support experience, it's all worth it. And when you're flying along a road like this, don't fly right over the road. Just fly to the side of it You know, you don't want to fly right over traffic. Just be cautious, be safe with your drones. Don't be that guy that runs into a helicopter. So far, this thing's flying pretty good. Let's bring it in for a landing and talk about what DJI actually said. I'm telling you, for the size of this drone, it handles winds like you just wouldn't believe. Look at the stuff blowing off the lake. That is crazy gust coming this way. It's so windy right now. Look at that. I mean, you can see these things just blowing like crazy. If you missed the wind videos, I've got a few of them. Check the description below. Now let's go sit down and talk about DJI support and what actually happened with my DJI Mini, because a few of you have actually said you've had problems with yours since the last upgrade also. Oops, I think I just broke the chair. So I sent the drone off to DJI support. I think I sent it off or contacted them around that date, or that's when I had the first issue and I contacted them. I dealt with them mostly through emails this time, and I found that to be a lot less stressful than what support typically is when I go through the phone calls and everything.
Well, yes, that is correct, but then again, your approval needs to, you know, be heard at least through email, something like that, because our repair team will definitely contact you for that, asking for your approval if you would agree to, or if you would allow them to use your DJI Care Refresh for the issue you're having with your Mavic Pro, something like that.
I sent DJI the video of the drone falling out of the sky. How sideways it is. Whoa! I also sent them the log file, which shows all the inner workings and what's happening with the drone during that flight. So before sending the drone in, it started working again. It was actually not a problem, and I was debating just keeping it, not actually sending the drone back. And then I started thinking, well, what if that problem happens again and it falls out of the sky again? Well, that would have been no good, and I couldn't take that chance at somebody getting hit by a drone falling out of the sky, even though normally when I fly, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes I do fly in the neighborhood. However, most of the time, it's out in these beautiful, gorgeous areas that if you've been following, you already know about. So a lot of you thought it was ice or snow or wind or something that I did that was too extreme for this little beast to handle. And that turned out not to be the case. After sending those logs into DJI and they took some time to go over it, their response was that the ESC failed, as well as I had ongoing IMU issues, which if you've been following, you already know that I've had to reset my IMU almost every single time I've turned it on. Now, during the making of this video, I've actually reset and turned the new drone on multiple times, and not once has it asked me to recalibrate the IMU like my old one did every single time. So from the information that they gave me, as well as my hands-on information with my drone and how I fly it and what I've been doing for many, many years up here in the mountains now with these drones, this was a warranted issue. The ESC should not have done what it did. The IMU should not have done what it did in those conditions. DJI stepped up and they decided to just send me a new drone and not worry about sending me back the one that was already working, because we could not chance that happening again. You cannot fly a drone that you cannot trust, that you're not sure if it's going to fall out of the sky. So if you have one having these issues, maybe your IMU is constantly asking you to reset it, or you're having some kind of weird issues, contact DJI, send them your flight logs and see what they say, because their customer service seems to have stepped up leaps and bounds from those earlier days that I used to deal with them. I'm pretty excited to have my Mini 2 back, because as I've said in other videos, as well as this one, this thing is a beast for what it can do. I love it. I don't know. I might love it more than my Mavic Air 2. And my Air 2 has become my favorite drone, and I almost didn't even buy that one. I'm thinking about selling my Mavic Zoom and my Air 1. So if you guys are possibly interested in that, let me know in the comments section below. Or hell, should I do a giveaway in the future with it on one of my live shows? Speaking of my live shows, every first and third Monday of the month, I'm now doing live shows where I'm interviewing other YouTubers, as well as talking about the tech they use, GoPros, action cameras, 360 cameras, drones, and what they like to use on their channels. I'm also going to deep dive into how they got into YouTube and what it took for them to get from the starting point to where they are now. So try and join us on those first and third Mondays of every month at 8 p.m. mountain time. Overall, I was pretty satisfied sending it back, getting it back, doing what I needed to do to get the drone working properly with the confidence that I need. Now, a lot of people thought it could be something to do with the firmware, because there was an updated firmware, as well as there was some updates with the Fly app on the iOS as well as the Android. And I recently put up a video there, you can check it out if you use Android, how you can get that update even if it doesn't show in the update store. A lot of people commented under my video that with the new update, they've had drones falling from the sky too. If you are someone who's updated and started having issues after that update, whether it be the Fly app or whether it be the firmware of the drone, please comment, because DJI does see these and we need them to know what's happening so that things like this can be fixed if it's all of a sudden something that happened with a firmware update. Now, I'm definitely not going to stop doing these extreme tests, because where I live, it's sort of hard not to do these extreme tests. So if you're liking that kind of content, stay tuned, because I do have more stuff in the works with drones, action cameras. This is the Max Lens mod that I've now got for my GoPro 9, and I'm doing a standalone video testing it out, as well as doing a comparison now that I have my GoPro Max back from GoPro. Now, the experience I had with GoPro's customer support was completely different than what I had with DJI's. If you want to see a real headache of a customer support video, check out that card right there. If you guys have any questions or comments that you want to leave me, make sure you do that down below about this particular situation, about your Mavic Mini 2. See, it's so hard to stop saying Mavic. And if you missed the full video of when it fell out of the sky, that will be linked in the description also. I appreciate all you new subscribers, as well as everyone who's been here for such a long time. Do remember you can help support the channel. There is merch in the description below. I have just started my own Etsy store with stickers galore, with drone stuff, snowboard stuff, all my custom art, and I'm working on things like mouths and eyeballs that are all gnarly, that are going to be for drones or whatever you want to put them on. So grab something today and make sure you tag me on Instagram or Twitter at that right there. Thank you guys so much for all the support, all the back and forth that you do in the community, and for those who show up for those chats, those live feeds, thank you so much, because it really gives me a way to give back to the community, because I do give away free stuff in every single one of those. Sometimes it's stickers, sometimes it's going to be shirts, sometimes it's going to be drones. And that being said, I'm out of here. See you guys in the next one. Should be following, because you're missing out on cool footage. So make sure you've hit that subscribe. How many times do I going to tell you to subscribe to the damn channel already? Because I'm sharing not only cool footage, but I also share how to do things. So if you are new here and you don't know that, I'm sharing things to teach you how to use 360 cameras, action cameras, and drones like the Mavic Air 2 and the Mavic Mini 2, although they don't call it Mavic anymore. So remember that.